Alright folks, now disclaimer first before we start. This is actually a polished, modified build compared to the initial version that all the CCs have been testing for about 2 weeks or so earlier this month. So we already saw this, we have been play testing it against bots who are not that smart, just rotate in place. So not exactly a good way to test the meta with the new perks, but they listened to our feedback and suggestion and made the modification. So let's take a look at the trailer and rank all the new crew skills and perk on the Sandbox. So this will come to the Sandbox and later onto the common test if it's successful, but let's take a look anyways. Let's speed this up too.
We are starting to test large-scale improvements to crew perks. This is an early test designed to check that we're moving in the right direction. We haven't created a new crew system, but rather developed the existing one. Let's call it a serious evolution. There are many new features, but it's easier to figure everything out than you might expect. So let's get to it. Now, each crew member has just 6 slots for main perks. 0 perks also come under this limit. Meanwhile, the key benefit of 0 perks remains. They do not raise the price of experience for subsequent ones. Directives will also not help get around the limit, since they can't give the effect of a 7th perk if only 6 have been trained. That said, they can always strengthen already trained ones. There is good news for crew members who fulfill several roles at once. It is a bonus perk system. If a crew member has a secondary qualification, it will be trained alongside the major one. It has just 3 perks. To fully train a perk for an additional qualification, you need to train 2 perks for the major one.
So this is a big plus to low crew member vehicles like the 𝗦𝗸𝗶𝗹𝗶𝗀, like the STRV S-Tank 3-man crew. So basically you're getting more skills to be competitive with like 6-man crew, basically performing just as good with the crew skills, so not needing to train with more XP, right? So that's a big plus. But once you move the commander or somebody from this low man crew to another vehicle with more people, the skills basically gray out. So for example, the Synlac has a dedicated gunner, so his gunner skills will deactivate once there's a gunner present. But if there's not, for the 𝗦𝗸𝗶𝗃, you'll have the extra snapshot or dead eye, so that's a big plus.
Bonus perks do not increase the total training time, no matter how many there are. Now, each qualification has a choice of 3 group and 6 individual perks. You will have plenty to choose from because we've added 15 new ones. For instance, practicality for a commander reduces cooldown time for consumables. The old perks have been rebalanced. Some have become more useful, for example, sound detection. Firefighting is now an individual radio operator perk, meaning you don't need to train the whole crew in it. Some perks have remained unchanged. In total, each crew member only has 9 perks to choose from and just 6 slots for their major qualification. Which ones to train and which ones not to is up to you. All perks of duplicated qualifications now only work fully when each crew member has them. Let's say you have 2 loaders and you've trained a perk for one of them, it will only work at 50% efficiency. This is to balance vehicles with small and large crews.
So basically, this means that if you have 2 loaders, you cannot double up on the perks, right? 1 perk or 1 set of 3 for one of the good loader, and another set of 3 for another loader, giving you all the perks. That would be unbalanced compared to just 1 loader tank. So therefore, you have to train the same skill twice, just so you can actually balance out with the same loader. So this is for balancing reasons. But yeah, if you have 2 loaders, each one training different skills, then you have more skills than 1 loader, obviously. So that is for balancing. Great aspect of the training and stuff, balancing and stuff.
After you've trained all 6 main perks, the aces will be able to train your cadets. Half of the base experience your 6 perk tankers earn will be counted toward post-progression. Get 100,000 XP and you will receive a universal training guide that will help you train new crews.
So you cannot overflow to 7 or 8 skills. Now you're just basically training booklets and giving the booklets to another crew that's not well trained, which is actually a very good idea, right? But kind of a downside to like super crews, like the 𝗤𝗏𝗄 with like 2 0 skill perk. So basically he trains faster, but he doesn't get like 8 skills or something, or 7 skills.
During the test and for some time after the update's release, resetting perks will be free. If you want to reset the perks of many crew members at once, you can use the new buttons in the barracks. The first one resets the perks of all your crew members, and the second one automatically fills empty perk slots. To set crew members to your playstyle, it's best to reassign perks manually for the crews of your favourite vehicles. 0 perks can now also be reset. You can choose several at once in the perk selection window. Head to the game portal, go to the news article about the updated system and sign up for testing. Together, we can make sure that the updated system works well, is correctly configured and balanced before we move on to common testing. Feel free to experiment and leave feedback. Good luck on the battlefields.
So it is Sandbox, and you have to test it later on the common test, so it will be a while, but it's not exactly new crew skills. We saw it last year with the Japanese 𝗥𝗄𝗄 on the common test. So Japanese 𝗥𝗄𝗄s, actually they have this system with the crew training as well, the 100% crew training and other stuff that we just got. But this was kind of scrapped because it was a big patch, along with dynamic pushable containers and cinder blocks, which was just OP. So they removed it. They scrapped it. Way too good. Yeah, blocking the E3's lower plate, just way too good. So let's take a look at the new crew skills compared to the old one, and we'll do a ranking on the stuff. Already did one for last year as well, but it's slightly different. Slightly. So let's take a look. The group perks are all the same, so this is shared, everybody can learn. Brothers in Arms, concealment and repairs, that's obvious, but let's pull up the good old tier list. And let's do this. So it will be sort of a meta defining of a set. So we have the meta, we have the good, the mid, the situational, and utter trash. But recon, it's always been good. Let's just do the Brothers in Arms first. Brothers in Arms, S tier, immediate pick. Camo, immediate pick. If you can. That is also situational. You don't need camo on heavy tanks, right? You don't need repair on paper armor 𝗥𝗄𝗄. So these are immediate pick, but class specific, right? So it's not exactly technically immediate, but then again it is. Alright, recon is the same, hasn't been changed. New perk, emergency, crew efficiency bonus by 7.5%. If you're taking damage, effect doesn't stack up. So if you do get hit, you get a buff to some sort of vent and a half in crew efficiency, which is not bad, but you have to get hit. So this is good for taking minimal high explosive damage from artillery. You get a buff from it. So if you're stacking like mouses with spall liners, then maybe. Or if you're getting hit by like one autocannon round from the Czech light tank, then that does no damage, you're getting this off. So this is still, I think, situational. It is good for heavy tanks with armoring back behind it, right? But if you do get hit with heavy tanks, then it's likely gold shell going through your face. So I'm still thinking situational. It's not really that crazy. It's not great for like 𝗥𝗄𝗄s with no armor, right? Or light tanks. So situational. Mentor. Crap. Well, let's just do the last year's list. I have last year's list. I rated Mentor at mediocre. Oh no, it changed. Mentor got changed. 20% now. XP bonus. And knockout crew members, so basically like jack of all trades. But I will say S tier. Maybe even better than Brothers in Arms or the camo. Because this is basically helping out with the books, the XP books as well. So I would say this is S tier. I have it now for all my commanders now. Training less for more crew skill is a big thing, so I think S tier. Coordination, increase aim speed by 12.5%, 15 seconds after you spot the enemy. Effect does not stack up. So basically, if you do spot the enemy, you get a faster aim time. But if you're spotting, dedicated spotting, you're playing light tanks, you're not supposed to shoot. That is the downside. You're not supposed to shoot, so increased aim speed does nothing for you if you're passive scouting or active scouting. But this is good for medium tanks, spotting and shooting. I would say this is also situational. It's not trash, by all means, it's not trash. But then again, most medium tanks don't have that long of an aim time, right? At most like 2.5 for a large caliber gun. It's usually about 2. So You don't spot stuff with heavy tanks. They spot you. There's another thing. So also, it doesn't respot. You don't go away from heavy tank corner just so you can respot and re-getting the aim speed bonus. I think this is more situational. And I would pick emergency over this thing, right? So this is good for medium tanks mostly. Sound detection, artillery fire, and reduce stunning by 10%. So adding the effect of a spall liner-ish, but very situational. Yeah, that too. If you don't have artillery, this perk is useless. If you don't have artillery, this is useless, practically. What I will have better emergency or coordination with the artillery alert. Yeah. Practicality. Reduce the cooldown time of your consumable by 7.5%. We also had this last time. It's mediocre. Well, let's just do this list. Yeah, 15% originally. 7. They nerfed it. They nerfed the 15% to 7.5, so it's not as good. It's basically for repair kits, medical kits, fire extinguisher, if that's a thing. You're not supposed to get caught on fire that many times, but I still think it's not. I mean, unless we're getting a consumable to replenish your health, that would be OP. Like one consumable to give back some of your health. This will be S tier. Basically use it all the time. But now you just repairing the tracks, repairing or injuring or healing injured crew members, but better than artillery. Yeah, it's better than artillery, but not that crazy. Jack of all trades. This got replaced, removed, rebranded. And 𝗥𝗲𝗄𝗄 got rebranded to Gunner's skill. So we'll place 𝗥𝗲𝗄𝗄 here. What the hell is 𝗥𝗲𝗄𝗄? There it is. So these are, all these are just skilled. We'll talk about them later, but let's see. Driver or Gunner. Snapshot, A tier. Is it better than view range? This is debatable. Yeah, I would say better than view range for now. It's a snapshot always been a good pick for heavy tank, for medium tanks, for tank destroyers. So yeah, I mean it's turret rotation, but it does help out with the moving of the gun for fixed mounted tank destroyers. So I would still say it's better than recon, slightly. Deadeye, module damage, and it's for everything now, for all the shells, not just excluding high explosive. Originally, it excludes high explosive. Really? I thought they changed it. Alright. But it's for all shells, including high explosive. I'd say it's mid-tier. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. It's a personal favorite, even though it's not that great. I like it, but Alright, designated target. So longer view range, also with 𝗥𝗲𝗄𝗄 now. It's still I would say lower end of mid. It's not as bad as artillery or practicality, so you still have a use out of it, but I would say better than situational getting hit damage and getting a bonus out of it. Right? This is good for face hugging and dueling, but yeah, I'm thinking about playing against the whole freaking 15 versus 15, not just 1 versus 1 in a sense. Concentration. Decrease gun dispersion of stationary vehicle by 3.5%. Effect starts after 3 seconds, like with binoculars or camouflage net. Good for snipers mostly, right? But gun dispersion of a stationary vehicle. You're planted. Heavy tanks are moving about, moving back and forth to throw off the shots, right? This is mostly for snipers. Is it better than... I think it's better than this perk. The one that you have to spot and get better aim speed. This one just basically gives you better aim speed. Even without you spotting, but that's a big bonus. That's a 12.5% compared to 2.5. So you have to spot, but if you're spotting, you're not constantly spotting. So this is more universal. I think this is a little bit better, but is it better than designated target? I think it's better than designated target. That's better than freaking module damage. Armor is the RNG stuff, decrease your RNG, and also buffing the gun dispersion. Did it have that? Penalty to accuracy by 50%. So they don't have the dispersion before, but it's basically the RNG now with dispersion buff. This is A tier. Which one? Snapshot is better, but this is RNG. I mean, it also makes you less frustrated with lower end of alpha, but also takes away like the 1000 alpha damage with BZ 176 potential, right? So I would say right here. That's fine. Alright. Driver, the same mostly. Clutch braking has always been S tier or A tier. Just below S. So very helpful for slow heavy tanks. Even helpful for medium tanks to go through mud and other stuff. I would still say, let's see, where the hell do I rate this thing? Yep, about the same. Wow, rated recon better than snapshot. I have changed. Smooth ride always also been good all the time. It's just right there. That's fine. Off-road driving, speed loss on soft terrain, so it's a little bit buff. It's slightly better now. It's better than, I would say better than recon. All right, it is better than recon. Yeah, off-road driving is very good. Reliable placement, increase HE damage absorption, decrease HE damage, decrease damage from falling. Very situational. I mean, don't get hit by HE, but if you're getting hit by HE, after the HE nerf, it doesn't matter that much, right? And also don't go falling down. So very situational. I might even put it into trash tier. Not that bad. It's not that bad, but it's not great. Control impact, increased ramming damage to enemy vehicles, and decreased ramming damage to yourself and your suspension. You're not ramming all the time unless you're crazy, or unless it's bottom tier and nobody know what the hell they're doing. But I tested this with the 𝗥𝗲𝗄. The bots are not good at moving about for you to ram because they just plant their stuff and shoot like a turret, like a bunker. They're not moving about that much. So ramming is not that well tested on the bots server. I wouldn't say it's trash, but originally I said it was trash, right? I said it was trash. I said it was trash tier. It is very good for stuff like the 𝗥𝗲𝗄 or the E50, but most of the time, you're not ramming. If you are getting too close to ram, you can just shoot the gun. So yeah, I would still say trash tier. It's a acquired taste of a perk, but yeah, they removed preventative maintenance. Ugh, gross. So engineering is top speed buff by 1 km/h, which is alright. It's not crazy. It's not like 2 or 3. And reduce the penalty to the damage engine, so preventative maintenance. Actually, that's engine fire, that's not engine damage. But originally it was 5% engine power. That was the big deal. 1 km/h top speed, not that much. But 5% engine power is pretty nice. They removed that. So originally I rated it at top of A tier. Yeah, of course, 5%, that's great. This is now mid. Yeah, mid. I would rather see damage modules than 1 km better top speed. That's pretty mid. It's not situational, but okay. Loader, adrenaline rush. Now it's 25%. Did they change it from 10%? So yeah, 25% when you're, or better DPM after 25% or lower 25% of your health than 10%. 10% of your health is nothing, but it's loading by 10% compared to 5%. I mean, theoretically, if you're playing the tortoise, if you have like 500 health left, you take advantage of 5%, which is like a rammer, right? Half of a rammer. Is it rammer? I have to make sure, otherwise I look stupid. 5% for loading? 10%. Yeah, half of a rammer. It's not actually the full rammer. Yeah, frick. Trash tier. It's still kind of trash. It's better trash now, under 25% of your health, but half of a rammer and very situational. I will still say a little bit better now. Is it better than ramming? Is it better than the goddamn ramming? Yeah, ramming damage unless you're ramming like a Boresque, a light tank, right? Sort of a light tank chassis, fine. At that point, you don't even consider extra 20 more damage. So if you ram for 500 damage, you get 100 more damage out of it. So 600 damage. By the point of you ramming a light tank for 500, it's already more like half their health at middle or lower tier. So extra damage doesn't add them. They're almost already dead. So one more shot, they're practically dead. Yeah, okay. If you're close enough to ram, you're close enough to shoot. So very close enough. Adrenaline rush. Back to trash tier. Save storage. S tier. Always have it. No question. You get freaking blown up all the time. S tier. Yeah, S tier. Garbage. Intuition. It's good nowadays for gold shell switching. And it's still good for most of the vehicles to switch a high explosive and jam it into like light tanks or Waffen triggers. But I would still say is it good tier though? It's amazing for artillery, obviously, but they nerfed the artillery shells, so you don't have gold artillery shells. I would say right there, somewhere around there. I put in A tier. Holy crap! Really? I put aim speed into good tier too. That is surprising. Oh, well, designated target is a little bit better now. Theoretically, it moves up. Alright. Oh, really? Intuition. 60%. It's still the same. Ah, damn it. I'll put mid tier for now. Shell velocity. 10%. Ooh. Crap. I mean, some vehicles have garbage shell velocity, right? But this doesn't help that much. 1,000 meters per second, you get 10, which is 100 meters per second more. It's actually quite hefty, but 1,000 is already alright. It's for like 760-ish, 750-ish with larger caliber gun. Originally, the 𝗥𝗲𝗄𝗃 tank destroyers have garbage shell velocity, but they buffed it for the meta. This is good for lower tier end of something like the KV2 or the IS tanks. Is it better than module damage? Right there. Yeah, it's kind of fine. Not bad. Most of the time, you don't need it. Decrease gun loading time by 2.5% at distance of 50 meters or less. This is a priority pick for heavy tanks. You're face-hugging or you're very close range, but is it a priority pick? If you don't have it, if you're brawling, you will be at a disadvantage. But it's only 2.5%. But, I mean, gun loading is 10%. This is a quarter of a rammer, which is not that big of a deal, but you need to have this, otherwise you are at a disadvantage. Well, then again, you already have a disadvantage with normal rammer compared to bond rammer, so this is just crap. I would say shell velocity is better. Yeah, this is better. Really? Top of A tier? Don't get too close. Yeah, most of the people will think, oh, this is a god tier pick, great pick. Just don't get within 50 meters and you're fine. But then again, if you don't face hug, they'll shoot your lower plate. Ah, crap. This is up for debate. This really is. I mean, it's semi-good, but very situational. Otherwise, you'll be at a disadvantage if you don't have it too. I'll put it at A tier. Ammo tuning. No question. Minimum potential damage and minimum RNG. Penetration too now. Was it also penetration? Yeah, penetration too. Yeah. S tier. Definitely. Yeah, I'll put it right there. Yeah, S tier. Of course it's S tier. Why the hell did I put safe stowage all the way in the back? Safe stowage is pretty important. Alright. Ammo tuning. Safe stowage, yeah. And radio operator skills. This is better than this. Yep. Always have it if you can. Always have it if you can. It also should go into S tier, but side by side. Crew efficiency by 2.5%. Half of a vent. At 50 meters or less from an allied vehicle of the same type. Now the downside to it is same type allied vehicle. It's just not an ally at all. So you cannot park a light tank next to a heavy tank and get a DPM bonus or something like that. So it has to be heavy and heavy or medium and medium. So it's good for artillery. Just park 2 artillery together. But sometimes you have only 1 artillery. And that's useless. So you have to park next to the same vehicle type. It's good for heavy. It's good for bush camping assholes packing together. 2 bush camper is better than 1, so obviously better for crew efficiency, but I still think this is it good as close combat is more effective by all means. Aim speed, module damage, I'll put it here now. Originally it was called, I think it was called teamwork. If the distance, yep, if the distance to ally 50 meters by 5%. Yeah, it's better than originally. Yeah. Yeah, it's better originally. It was 5% compared to 2.5. It's called teamwork originally, but yeah, this got removed. Yeah, this got removed. Calls for vengeance, piece of shit. Freaking trashed here. Report your enemy position 4 more seconds after your vehicle get destroyed. This is garbage. Trashed here. They removed it, obviously, but yeah, 2.5% is not as crazy when you think about it. Where the hell did I place it? Side by side. I would rather have module damage. I would rather have shell velocity. Actually, yeah, that feels fine. Alright, jamming. Decrease time your vehicle spotted by 1 second. It's the same as originally. Very situational. Yeah, I mean, with the equipment is 5%. Not the radio thing. It's also only on light tank. High tier light tanks get a radio thing. So duration of your vehicle being visible by 1.5 seconds. This is not great. This is not a good perk. Radio jamming thing. Situational. Yeah, situational. I would rather have. It's better than spotting and getting aim speed. Somewhere around there. Yeah, very close. Alright. Signal interpretation. vehicle spot. So basically like 6th sense buff with directives, but it's half of a second compared to, is there originally there one? Nope. So new perk technically. That directive is very good. It's 1 second for the crew with the light bulb. Improved focus. So you're activating faster the 6th sense, but this is half of that. I mean, it's good for light tanks to get out of hairy situation, no doubt, but oh crap. Ooh, I still feel this is situational. There are better perk, namely this one. There are better perk for this. So I would say better than jamming. Is it better than concentration for the gunner? It's better than concentration. Yeah, better than concentration. Now this one, this is the big one. Increase crew efficiency by 2.5 if the amount damage you assisted exceeds the HP of your vehicle. Now this doesn't seem like much, but this is amazing for artillery. If you assist with stun assist, you get a 2.5% to your crew efficiency, so half of a vent. This is amazing for artillery. I mean, it's okay for light tanks or any other heavy tanks or tank destroyers. Or armored tank destroyers, not camping in the back tank destroyers, unless you shoot the tracks and your teammates pick up on the immobilized enemy. But this is amazing for artillery. I would still say you will very likely get this off playing artillery. Very likely. You will likely get this off with light tanks. It's kind of difficult for heavy with lots of health, right? Very difficult for heavy with like mouses or type 5. But I would say this is better than armor with the RNG stuff, but it's good. Firefighting is, it's situational, but I'll put it on top of situational. I mean, you have a fire extinguisher. I don't run foods, so I would say situational too. It's up there. It's better than that. Flip all the way around, but it's still very situational for me to use the fire extinguisher. And originally they had preventative maintenance for the driver. This was freaking trash tier, so it doesn't even count. And radio boost. Oh god, comms perk config. Oh, this is just rebranded. Yeah, they rebranded. Yeah, major config. If they rebranded as the thing with artillery. Increased radio range. Still good, right? I tested it with artillery. God damn, this perk with artillery is kinda nuts. But yeah, radio expert is one of the better ones. And we have a loader, guerrilla warfare. Decrease the penalty to vehicle concealment after shooting. That's nothing. That's practically nothing. And increase vegetation concealment by 2%. They removed it, but how much I rate it? Mediocre. Huh. Yeah, I think it will be nice, but yeah, it got removed. Well, there you go, folks. Half an hour talking about new crew skills that might not even come to pass. It'll be on the sandbox for you to test, but yeah, some of the original pretty good skills got nerfed, like engineering, right? This was 5% to your engine power. Got nerfed. Only 1 km/h top speed. Now with penalty to damage engine buffering, but still not that great. So originally we rated all the stuff, but practically about the same. Only changes, I like Mentor now. I still like Mentor after they changed it for the commander as well, but it applies more bonus than just 10%, 15%. Currently it's 10, right? But all the commanders I have has it now, 10.5. So it's basically like training with personal reserves. for all the commanders I have it. All the commanders have it now. So yeah, this is practically S tier. Definitely S tier. The same old snapshot, off-road driving, they're still good. The aim speed buff, yes, depends. I mean, still okay, but not the craziest. So overall, I still feel the meta should be about the same. In terms of picking this stuff, right? It should be about the same. But only 6 available. That is sort of the limiting factor, unless you have like multi-role crew members. But I still feel it's fine. I still feel it's decent enough of a change. It's not crazy, like only a commander or only one person for one vehicle. Yeah, crew 2.0. That's stupid. But overall, some of the perks still feel kinda garbagey, like adrenaline rush. Even though they buffed it, it's more. These two could easily be here. Obviously, these two could easily be here, but these perks are still very situational in comparison to like better minimum damage or safe stowage or hell, mentor. So these are obviously always pick. Always pick. You don't need camo on heavy tanks. You don't need repair on Waffenträgers or Hellcats. You don't need it. But if you can pick it, you obviously pick it, right? Like camo for Hellcats. Very important. Camo for light tanks all the time. No question. But ramming is very situational. Sometimes trash. You very rarely get a ramming kill out of just shooting this stuff, right? If you can see the vehicle, you can shoot the vehicle. You don't have to ram it. If you can ram the vehicle, you can shoot the vehicle. The same thing applied to explosion. If you can see the explosion can see you. It blows up in your face. Well, technically, but but yeah. All right, there you go, folks. So try it on the Sandbox if you can. Sign up for the stuff. We already play around with it on the bots. The bots are stupid, so you cannot really get a good ramming kill against bots or lower tier vehicle. It's all the same tier too, but yeah, the duplicate qualification balancing, very nice for multi-role crew. Some vehicles have 2 radio operators, and therefore sometimes get more skills out of it. Or 2 loader is very common, but sometimes also 2 gunner for stuff like the 𝗥𝗲𝗄𝗏 or something. But bonus perk for low crew member vehicles, very nice as well. But try this out on the Sandbox. Also getting XP book after you finish everything. But the downside to it is some crew members have lots of skill, like Santa Claus right here. Or obviously Chuck Norris has a lot of skills, even though some of these skills will go to being like second qualification. So basically balance them out if you already have enough. So these will move down to it, but calls for vengeance, piece of crap. Signal boosting, garbage. Relay, garbage. Most of the radio operator skills are utter crap. Yeah, radio operator skills are garbage. Gunner skills are fine other than armor. Armor is just whatever at this point. And driver, preventative maintenance, control impact, again. Ugh. Oh god. Loader skills, adrenaline rush, practically I mean, it's like a rammer, but you have to get down to 10% of your health. So, I mean, I have nothing else to train. I don't train firefighting. I have a fire extinguisher. I don't run food. What the hell am I? Paying to win? I always run fire extinguisher. So as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
𝗥𝗲𝗄𝗄𝗄